Growing up, many of you are more than likely huge Spidey fans. Whether it be the shows, the movies, or the comics, you more than likely have come to watch a piece of Spidey media. As kids, we only paid attention to Spider Man's fight scenes and his stunning swinging scenes, but we never really cared to listen to the man behind the mask, Peter Parker. As we got older and rewatched these movies or shows, we slowly started to see under that mask, Pete was one, if not one of the most relatable people in media history. Peter is in the teen to early college student demographic, which according to transformingeducation.org states that about 94% of college students feel overwhelmed by their studies. Despite us being the average Joe compared to Peter's spider powers, he still has that key human trait that we all feel: stress. One of the most important examples of this realization is in the highly acclaimed film Spider-Man 2, released in 2004. In the movie, Spider-Man loses his powers and is now just Peter Parker. We later come to find out in the movie that Peter was losing his powers due to a midlife crisis he was having, in which there were a few reasons. At the beginning of the movie, it is stated he loses his job due to not arriving at the customer's location in time. It's shown explicitly, by the way. Mary Jane is getting married, even though he still loves her, and there is a clear sign that MJ probably does miss him as well. And he's also missing his classes and is at the risk of being failed by Dr. Connors, his teacher. Later in the movie, Peter goes to the doctor, and in this scene, the doctor tells Peter basically to give up the mantle of Spider-Man if he feels stressed out, and so Peter does. Keep in mind, the doctor doesn't know Pete is Spider-Man.
That's the problem. He doesn't know what to think.
Gonna make you mad not to know who you are. Your soul disappears. Nothing as bad as uncertainty. Listen. Maybe you're not supposed to be Spider-Man climbing those walls. That's why you keep falling. You always have a choice, Peter.
I have a choice.
With those words, Peter finally decides to give up the mantle of Spider-Man and to go live his life without the stress of having to save a huge amount of people every day from New York's crimes. Sometimes we also are told by people to maybe give up something that is stressing us out, and we more than likely tend to give it up for our sake. As an example, I used to do wrestling during my first semester of my junior year of high school, but I wasn't making enough money to support myself in paying for my gym membership, a phone bill, and gas money to get to work, school, or anywhere else, because I was constantly at practices and having matches on the weekends, which didn't give me enough time to make money. I personally think that's a reason why Peter is most relatable to almost everybody here who watches this video. Another example that not a lot of people tend to talk about is in the comics themselves. If you were to open any comic during the early years of Spider-Man's serialization, you would notably see that Peter's blaming himself for many things. To add on to that, on his very first appearance, Amazing Fantasy number 15, after Peter finds out who Uncle Ben's killer is, he regrets not stopping him earlier and letting his ego get to him, and thinks about what if he just stopped the robber when he had the chance. I personally really can't lie about this, and maybe a few of you can't either. We all have an ego that sometimes does get left unchecked. We let this ego consume us, and we think we're on top of the world and are better than everybody around us until the way we act towards others affects people and gets them either physically or mentally hurt due to our actions. This leads to the end of my video essay. Despite these hardships, Peter in more modern comics is shown to be more hopeful and to not give up yet because he has a responsibility to uphold, and he has to keep fighting for the safety of the citizens of New York and sometimes even the universe. Under the mask, Peter is like all of us, a stressed out mess that receives new problems on the daily, and that's fine. It's okay to be under pressure at times and feel like there's no escape from any problem. Peter teaches us to hold on for one more second and to push forward through the toughest challenges. Hello, thank you for reaching the end of this video essay. My name is Abdiel Enriquez. I'm an upcoming senior, and as a way to support myself and make money on the side for my adult life, I've decided to pour my thoughts of characters in media that I watched, such as I did today with Spider-Man 2 and reading Amazing Fantasy number 15. The movie that changed me in a way that many of you also feel, which is Spider-Man 2, again. Hopeful. It made me feel hopeful. Please subscribe if you enjoy this video, as I want to pour my love for the media I watch while also making money for my college years and support myself without the need of anybody. Thank you for your time. and I'll see you in my next video essay. Goodbye.